you're watching Drake Nick's Vision. Today, I want to go into what is the awakening, because I think there's a lot of different information about what this awakening process looks like and how it's going to unfold as we move into the future. And so today, I'm going to touch on a little bit about my own opinions around it. Before I get started, my name is Drake Nix. I'm a holistic educator and an integrative soul guide. I help people to become their very best selves by identifying their blocks, where those blocks come from, and becoming conscious about how they want to create a new type of programming within themselves that allows them to live their very best life. I do that through my intuitive and energy work, and I also do that as an educator and community builder. So today we're talking about the awakening, and I think in the awakening process, there is the initial moment, the initial time period where everything is illuminated and you feel so good in yourself. You're inspired about what you're seeing, about what's going to happen in the world. You're finding out all this new information about how reality works in a way that you never knew before. And so it can feel very enlivening. It can feel really sparking. Like you just want to go out into the world and you want to do it all and you want everybody to know exactly what you know. What you don't know is that most people don't actually understand you. And so when you're speaking at them about all these the higher dimensions and spirits and that kind of stuff, people are just not going to be on that wavelength, no matter how real it seems to you in the moment. And that can be a very painful realization and a very isolating realization when you realize that nobody understands you. There's also the dark night of the soul that's associated with the awakening process, because you go through the state of expansion and all of a sudden you know so many new things. There's also so much that you don't know, but you're really excited to find out what those things are. You're illuminated, but then all of a sudden you're so expansive, you've expanded so much that your energy hasn't caught up with the expansion, and so there's a lot of emptiness that you begin to feel, and a lot of doubt and uncertainty and confusion, and reality starts to break apart a little bit, because you get to know that reality isn't what it seems, which is really cool at first, but then it can also be very terrifying, because all the beliefs that you've created around how the world works no longer functions in the place where you're going. And things that you were able to hold on to that made you feel safe and made life feel okay and bearable and helped reality to kind of maintain its structure, it all crumbles. Who you are as a human being, when you realize that you're just your programming, everything that you are, all your beliefs, that's just stuff that people put into you, what your society put into you, which means all the things that you believe may or may not be right. And that's okay, but it's really hard to grasp when it first happens. And a lot of people seep very, very dark into this place where even the physical existence that you live starts to feel different. You start to feel strange in your body, like this isn't your body, and it's very alarming to you because it's always been your body, and if this isn't your body, then what are you? But you remember, hey, you actually weren't in this body before you were born, and eventually you're gonna die and you're not gonna be in this body either, so it's not that strange. Let's hope you're not this body, because this thing's gonna deteriorate back into the earth and it's not gonna be you anymore. So what is left? And so then you have to grapple with those questions of, what is the soul? Is there a soul? Is there an afterlife? And religion teaches us, there's heaven and hell and purgatory, and depending on whatever religion that you're looking at, there's all kinds of different beliefs. And I'm not here to tell you what to believe, because I think that whatever you want to believe that makes you feel good in this life is perfect. You do you, boo-boo. But I do want to say that through this process, when you do question your reality, if you get there, there can be a moment where everything seems to be breaking apart. And it literally could, where it's you start seeing the energies and more spirits start coming to you. You begin analyzing things in ways that you never analyzed before. And once you realize that the complexity is infinity, you start to analyze something, it's you keep going forever. That's how brilliance is made, and that's also how insanity is made. And so through that process, you lose yourself, and maybe you do go into mania, maybe you do go into insanity. But when you break like that, and if you're able to come back out, which hopefully you will, and most people do when they're on this path of the spiritual awakening. They do come back into themselves and they have more information to share with the public. Hopefully they have new gifts that they can bring back. They've tapped into their medicine to bring into the world. It reminds me of a quote by Terence McKenna, who talks about, and he was talking about psychedelics, but where, for him and taking psychedelics, it was like going out into the ocean, casting a net, seeing what he could pull in, and then bringing it back to the shore to share with other people. And so I'm not talking about psychedelics. If that's what you're into, great. This is just like one aspect of the awakening process, which sometimes psychedelics do have something to do with the awakening process. So we're bringing information back to the public about what we have found in our soul searching. And again, like, you may or may not be making sense to the general public. Like, some of you have met those people where it's like they've gone off the deep end and they go through these loops and they're just constantly fractalizing. I know what those people are saying. Like, I've been there, I get it. Like, I can follow the conversation, I can have the conversation, but I don't necessarily want to live there all the time because it's not really grounded in this reality. There's all kinds of things that we can discover about the universe that when we first start to tap into it, that's all we want to learn. And it's so exciting and, we want to be there, but the point isn't as much what is out there in the universe as much as it is, how can we make the most out of these physical lives that we're living right now in order to benefit this planet? Like, we are living these lives for a reason. We have come to this planet at this time for a reason. We have a purpose, like literal soul purpose, people. Like, we got to go out there and heal some things, and we don't have a lot of time. So the awakening process is this period of time that individuals are going through as they discover and experiment and question the nature of reality. But it's also a collective awakening as well, because we're all coming together and recognizing that we need to make changes on the planet and we need to come together in order to find solutions now. And so I don't think that the awakening needs to be super woo-woo. I think that some of the ideas of, extraterrestrials coming to save us, or, the shift of the sun letting out this, big blast of energy and then all of a sudden life is different, that doesn't make any sense to me, because as an intuitive, as somebody who does see beyond the veil, we came here to be human beings, to live on this planet in order to do this big work right now, which is transforming the planet into a healthier place and also transforming ourselves in that process. And I know for myself, I personally have put in a lot of work to transcend a lot of different things over the years, and it has been so rewarding. Had I not gone through the things that I went through, I would not be where I am today, and I don't think that I would have enjoyed myself as much if I just ended up where I am now. And I also know that there is so much farther for me to go as well, and so much more for me to learn. And I think that I would feel kind of scammed a little bit if there was just like a flash and all of a sudden I woke up in this like peaceful world. I'm here to rally. I'm here to do the work and like build community with people and make this world a better place through strengthening myself and showing myself that I can do it and helping other people to figure out how they can do it as well. I really think that this awakening process is going to be somewhat slow moving, and in time we will see healthier communities of people that are creating more regenerative systems and looking at the whole person as we create designs. If we look into the outside world, a lot of people are not on that frequency. Maybe they're not thinking about it or talking about it, but there are a lot of us who are talking about those things, and a lot of us who are getting our education right now in order to bring a different type of world to the public. And it might not be well broadcasted, but we're here and we're talking and we're doing our best to spread the message and to help other people to awaken to their best and highest purposes as well. I think with this awakening process, one of the biggest things that you can take out of it is just recognizing how powerful you are in your unconscious state and the ways that we've moved through the world before we awaken, and we're a consumer. We take and we don't necessarily know how to really give back to the whole because nobody ever taught us, and we don't actually realize our impact on the rest of humanity and on the planet. And so as we go into our bigness and our fullness and recognize that as we become conscious creators, that we can help to create a new world it is freeing because it means that you can be not only whoever you want to, but you can actually contribute and share in this collective purpose that so many of us are feeling at this time. Maybe you feel the call, maybe you've been going through the awakening, maybe you're discovering your new gifts, and it could be like, it doesn't have to even feel spiritual. You just want to go out into the world and you want to work with underprivileged communities. You want to travel abroad and see the world and learn about other cultures. You want to develop your knowledge about the environment and ecology because the natural spaces of our planet really call to you, and you have a passion for the plants and the animals. Like, all of that's beautiful, and all of it is so important in this awakening process. Each of us fill niches, and each of us are focused on different things that might seem entirely unrelated, but when you look at like the puzzle piece, the fabric of humanity, we're all perfectly positioned in the spaces where we're going to be the most influential to do the work that makes the most sense for who we are and what we have to contribute to society based on our unique talents and gifts and ways of seeing. I'm really excited to take part in this awakening process with you and to continue to grow with you. Thank you so much for watching today. Please like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend, and give me your comments and perceptions on this as well, because when I'm talking about these things on video, it's always afterwards where I'm like, I didn't explain myself very well there. And like, I have more that I actually would like to add to this conversation. And so by commenting, like, I would love to have that conversation with you. I would love to clarify. I would love to go into more detail. Speaking on camera is not my strong suit, and it's something that I'm still getting used to, but that's me being vulnerable and open to the fact that I'm not perfect, and I am learning every day and becoming my best self in every moment through allowing myself to be challenged and allowing myself to try new things and going out into the world and seeing what happens through my experimentation process. I hope you guys have a really wonderful day, and we'll see you next time.